Hi everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of We've Got the Keys, Mortgage Talk with the Broad Squad. Hope you all are having a good winter. We are back, and winter's been busy, hasn't it? If you haven't checked out our other episodes, check the links below. Please make sure you like and subscribe. So we're going to head right into broad banter, but we're going to start our series out. We're going to start having a little bit of a series of guest speakers. And this month we have Gastle and Chris Accorso from Legion Valuations. They are our appraisal company that we use. So this is going to be a real fun discussion this month.
Instead of being the broad squad, we are the four broads and the two guys.
Yeah, that's what we are for this month. All right, so let's kick it off with broad banter. Laura, what's been going on this winter?
This winter, I've been shoveling and I've been walking on ice with my dog and I've been hibernating and I've been working a lot and I've been watching a lot of good shows and reading a lot of good books. Nothing really.
Yeah.
Nothing really.
Nothing. That's very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took a little side trip to New York City to visit my daughter in college.
Yeah.
She had food poisoning when we arrived.
Oh, goodness.
It was outstanding.
Oh, my God.
It was your fault too, I'm sure.
It was great. Yeah, it was great. All four of us shoved in a hotel room the size of a postage stamp with someone with food poisoning.
Wow.
Highly encourage everybody to try it.
Yikes.
Well, I had an incident with my son on a trip like that where we were coming into Charlotte and he hadn't eaten all day, so he decided, I'm going to get a full pizza and eat the whole thing.
Oh.
And then I woke up in the morning, I thought the plumbing was leaking in the hotel room, and it wasn't the plumbing leaking. He was actually throwing up all over the room.
Wow.
His plumbing was leaking. I was going to interject my daughter in this because my daughter watches the YouTube videos when we do all this stuff, and she's like, "Don't you dare talk about me, Dad." So I will not do that. Megan.
Megan.
Oh, Megan. We like to talk about our kids.
We do.
Right?
I'm sure they don't like it either when we talk about our kids. Well, I don't have any food poisoning stories for this winter, so that's good.
That's good. You don't want
But yeah, I'm a little tired of winter. Yeah. It's been a long winter. Lots of cold weather, lots of snow. I did get away to Florida for a week because I need a break from the nonsense. So we went to visit the mouse for a week. And I've been doing about the same thing you've been doing, reading a lot of books, hunkering down. We've been busy. Business has been very busy, which is good for all of us. So, but I'm looking forward to the sun. For sure, and the warm weather.
Yeah. When you have that nice, warm, sunny day in March, everyone's in a much better mood.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's optimistic, and then the next day when it snows, everybody's mad again.
Yes. Correct.
Well, that's winter in Rochester.
Yeah.
Right?
So Tina, what about you? What have you been up to for the winter?
For the winter?
How are the kids?
I have two toddlers, if everybody remembers, that moved in August and with their mother, who's 27, and surprisingly, it's going well. Nobody has murdered anybody. There was an incident with the little one. He had a bench on his neck. I was right there, and all of a sudden, because that child has no fear whatsoever, no fear. He slides down desks. He slides down the bathtub. He jumps off cliffs. He's a crazy baby. So that's pretty much it. I've been doing that, but I'm starting to get more energy back, which is good.
So, getting ready to head off to Florida for a little bit of a break.
A little bit. 2 months is not a little bit.
I'm still working.
She's
people.
working.
Just in the sunshine.
That's all.
No, but it'll be good. But it's been a busy winter, though. I mean, it's always busy with family. When you have 4 children and different state, and you go and visit them. And Joshua turned. We went up to see them. And it's just been very
Your
busy.
grandbaby, Josh.
My grandbaby, Josh, and my granddaughter. She's
So beautiful.
Yeah, so cute.
Yeah, so we just, lots of family time.
So we are headed into our 30th year at GRB this year. It's a very exciting year, and Laura's going to tell us a little bit more about our 30 for 30 that we're doing this year.
So it's happy birthday, GRB. GRB has been in banking now for 30 years. So this is a really big deal for GRB. We are excited to promote it. We are excited to talk about it. We've got 30 events in 2026, and all of those events are being held in the community with our partners and with our employees to celebrate our our 30th anniversary. So we've got lots of events with our mortgage team, we've got lots of events with our commercial team, we've got lots of events with our retail banking team, and we're really excited to be part of something in the community where we can invite our banking partners to celebrate our 30th anniversary. So more to come on that.
Yep.
Our marketing team is doing a great job at making sure to get all the words out about where we're going to be celebrating, who we're going to be celebrating with, and when we're going to be celebrating. So we're all really excited about it.
All good stuff.
Yeah.
Great. So now we're going to get into our discussion about appraisals for the month. So Dan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company, and then we'll hit you with all the questions.
Sure. So I'm Dan Gastle. I'm the CEO of Legion Valuation, also the CEO of Realty Consultants, which is our appraisal company. So we've been in business for approximately 2 years. I am a New York State instructor and a supervisory appraiser, so I get to train other appraisers on top of that. This is one of the most interesting jobs I think you could ever have, especially dealing in the market, which we're going to be talking about today in Rochester, and how it varies greatly from a lot of the surrounding markets, and why I think you need to have a very good lender partner to do business in this market so that you can navigate it properly.
Yeah. So what is an appraisal, and why do we need that?
So an appraisal is a unbiased opinion of value done typically by a professional or a state licensed person, and it's typically related to the mortgage process, so sales, refinances, and estates and private appraisals.
Okay. Can a bank have their own appraiser, or do we need to have a company like you?
So to keep the conflict of interest out of it, typically what a bank will utilize is a company like ours and the appraisal management company, and what we do is hire an independent appraiser to go out and to do the valuation, so that there's no, the bank doesn't have any say over the process.
Right.
And then, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Are appraisals and inspections the same thing?
Well, a home inspection?
Yeah.
They are not the same thing. A home inspection, appraisers will look at what is overtly available, where home inspectors will get a more in-depth of, looking at roofs, climbing on roofs, looking in wall cavities, such as scuttles and things like that. So an appraiser will observe what they can see, but they don't go hunting for things.
Gotcha.
I have a question. So I get asked this all the time. Well, our house is assessed at this. So is an assessed value the same as what your appraised value is going to be?
They are not. No. They are not. An assessed value is
all the time.
an assessed value is done for taxation purposes, and an appraised value is to derive an opinion of value for the purposes of obtaining a mortgage for collateral.
Yeah. So how do you determine what the true value of the property is? What goes into that?
So what we do is we go and do an inspection of the property, and what we want to do is we want to measure the property to figure out what the square footage is. We want to take a walk through the property, take a look at what the quality of finishes are, the condition of the subject property, and then essentially what we do is we'll look at comparable sales within the market, and they have a sale price associated with them, and then we do adjustments based on that to derive what the opinion of value is.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You know me and my questions. You said something about the square footage.
Yes.
Can you explain how you look at a house and what that square footage is? Like, for example, a split level versus a raised ranch versus a colonial. There's so many different types of and styles of homes, and everyone just thinks, oh yeah, if I'm living in this area, that's square footage. So can you explain more of that?
Absolutely. So when you have a detached single-family housing, and again, there's different types of square footage depending on property. So an investment property, 2 to 4 units, will have a different square footage reporting. It's called gross building area versus square footage. So when you have a detached single-family housing, what you do is you measure the exterior of the property, and only what is fully above grade can constitute square footage. So if you have a raised ranch style house, if you have a finished basement, it can't be part of the square footage for the property.
Okay. So basically when you're standing outside and you're looking at the house from the road,
Yes.
it's what you see from the ground up.
Yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Yes.
So how do you determine what comps or comparables you're going to use when you compile your report?
So once we do an inspection of the property, we derive what's called assignment results, okay? And these are proprietary to both the appraisal and then the bank. And what we do is we take those assignment results and then we go out and we essentially try to do a matchmaking against other houses that have sold. And then we do is we make adjustments based off of that to derive an opinion of value.
Do the comparables that you use have to be within a certain distance of the property that you're valuing? What's the criteria you use for that?
So, I mean, there's guidelines for this. And the guidelines are merely that, guidelines. It doesn't mean you can't exceed them. So in urban areas, you would like to stay under a half a mile. In suburban areas, you'd like to stay under a mile. In rural, they'd like to stay under 5 in terms of like what everybody, the expectation is. But those guidelines are exceeded all the time. You just, when you're doing something like that, you have to state as to why you went ahead and did something like that.
Okay.
Like in a market like ours where there's lack of homes.
Sure. The inventory, the lack of inventory and the lack of sales in general have been a very big problem for the past couple of years, especially in this market with trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Do they more or less try to stay within the school district? So if you cross over towns in our area, you might still go to the same school district, but so is that kind of maybe the dividing factors?
I mean, the school district is part of the problem sometimes when you're looking at the comparables, but it's not the sole focus of
Okay.
it, because you might not have something in an immediate area with a school district. But what your job is when you have that type of situation is you want to extend out and you want to go take a look at maybe another area that would be similar in terms of demographics and predominant value. So you have to sometimes figure, I got a problem, how do I solve the problem? And then you can extend distances. In rural areas, if you have unique situations, it's not uncommon to have to go up to 20 miles away to find a comparable sale. You could have something with a lot of acreage and things like that. So yeah, again, there are guidelines, and the GSEs and the secondary markets got a lot lenient with it, as long as you're defining why you had to do what you do and you can support your conclusions within the report.
Good to
Yeah.
know.
That's really
Good.
good.
Yeah.
So, we work with different loan programs like conventional loans, FHA, VA. Are there differences in appraisals with those different loan programs?
Sure. So I would say they're a lot alike now, because what FHA did in a lot of the government loans is they've kind of condensed it down. So a lot of for instance this. So chipped and peeling paint used to be one of the big hot topic issues for FHA, USDA. And what they've done is they haven't put this into writing per se, but what they've said is, we want you to apply a common sense to it. Okay? So if you come out of a house and you
that's
have
new.
three stairs.
Wait, the government and common sense?
Well, I guess there's
You heard it right.
people
Yes.
actually do have common sense.
So while this is one of the rules that they haven't necessarily put into writing, the conversations I've had with HUD in general said we want a common sense approach to things. So if you're walking out and you have stairs, everybody used to always call for stairs as, got to have handrails to it.
Right.
Not anymore, you don't. It's a common sense application to it. So if you have chipped and peeling paint, yeah, you're allowed to get away with a little bit. You don't have to call out every little nook and cranny. It's a common sense approach to it.
That's good.
Wow.
That's great.
When will the appraisers catch up with
Well, that's kind of my job. The thing is the release notes for the new FHA guidelines, a lot had to do with, we used to have to travel around. So appraisers used to get us for more money because they required more work, and they did. But what they do allow you to do now is you can use MLS photos for the comparable sales photos. That takes a lot of time off the entire process.
Sure does.
That's awesome.
Really, one of the things that still maintains to be a problem for a government loan is really the concession part of it. So it's really, at a certain point, you're dealing with a different buyer, and the money issue could be the thing. So really, the thing that we need to look at from the government perspective now is, what is there a concession involved in this? Because now on the surface, really, everything's kind of on even footing, and I think it's going to bring FHA and VA and USDA. You're going to see more offers like that accepted, as long as there's not concessions involved with it.
We hope
For
so.
our viewers that don't really understand that concession and how that can impact the value. Can you explain a little bit more about that? So if an FHA buyer is purchasing for $250 and they're receiving a 6% seller concession, or we'll just make it an easy.
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah. So I'll do some. We'll do $300,000, right? So $300,000 at 6% is $18,000. So what they do is they'll build a seller's concession into this in order for the buyer of the home's closing costs to get covered and prepaid.
Yes.
And what that can do in a multiple offer situation like we get here in Rochester all the time is it can cause them to have a possible appraisal concern going into the future because your value needs to be higher than everybody else than would be at that $300,000 offer.
Great.
So that's really the concession could be problematic.
Okay, great.
So we get asked this question a lot by agents, sometimes sellers. When people over improve their property or put certain custom things in the property, how does that translate into a valuation on a property? If I put, marble countertops that cost $20,000 in my kitchen, is that going to help me get more out of my home when I go to sell it?
So it's really all market related. So if you're going to do certain things such as over improving the property or putting high quality finishes in, you got to make sure that your area supports that.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put that type of finish in, you wouldn't go do that in a property that's going to have a resale value of $120,000.
Right.
You would want to look at something that's different than that. And that's the appraiser's job, is to go in and make sure, see what the value is.
Right.
Because you could spend $20,000 depending on the market area, and maybe it's only worth $1,000.
Right.
It's kind of like in-ground pools in our market,
Yes.
right? So it's winter.
Right.
It's winter here
Yeah.
more than it is summer
Yeah.
by a lot.
Yeah.
So we have one of the highest areas of per capita of pools, whether it's above ground or in ground.
Right.
And those
Right?
outdoor
It just means
kitchens.
it just means we really
popping up,
enjoy
right?
summer.
Those
Yeah.
outdoor kitchens too popping up.
Yes.
You can only use them for a very don't blink because you just lost it.
And here, you're going to get more value in Florida where you can use it year round, where you can. It's very cool. It's just you should be cognizant of what you're spending and
Yeah.
and fully understand that you're not going to recover this and that you're doing it for a value to you, not necessarily what your recoverable value is.
Right.
Right. I was making this example today. I was doing another class for an agency out in Buffalo today. If you took yourself and you put yourself in Arizona, right, and you had an in-ground pool and central air conditioning, which one do you have to have in 100-degree heat?
Yeah, you got to have the air conditioning.
So what brings more value, the pool or the AC, right? Even though one costs less, you have to have that versus the pool, which is that's great to have, and most do, but you can see where different regions can derive different values based on what you need.
Right.
It's kind of like being in the winter market. A fireplace is cool, where you don't need a fireplace in Arizona, but maybe a fireplace in Western New York brings more value.
Yeah. So, and this is another question I get asked a lot. It doesn't come up all the time, but metal roofs have become more popular now. And I have a lot of people that will argue that adds a lot of value to the property when you need a roof, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't matter what kind.
It's fun. It's. I'm not to even piggyback off today, but this is conversations we were having. Everybody's like, what can I do in the exterior of a property to add value to the property? So, like, can I put siding on windows, roof? Those are items you have to have to constitute a house. They have to be maintained. You have to have them. Where indoors, you don't have to have a remodeled kitchen. You don't have to have updated flooring. You don't have to have bathrooms.
Right.
So what you do is I can tell you this. It's very difficult to measure those items from an appraisal standpoint.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you is it will make it more difficult for you to sell if you don't have those.
Yes.
Right.
So really, the measurability of that is, okay, now what are they saying in return? And typically they do sell less, but you have a very difficult time putting an actual dollar amount on I put a $40,000 steel roof on.
Right.
Would it give me peace of mind as a person buying the house?
Sure.
Absolutely it would.
Right.
Yeah.
Maintenance free.
But
the
not
siding
necessarily,
outside.
but not necessarily.
But not necessarily in
Yeah.
a measured amount. It's
Yeah.
very difficult to determine that.
Right.
That makes sense.
So now we're going to get into a little bit about this crazy market we have here in Rochester. So, and this is a question we get asked a ton, particularly by real estate agents, is why doesn't the number of offers and the acceleration of those offers count when you're making your valuation determination?
Sure. So one of the things we get asked a lot when there's problem with the value or something comes in light, we'll get calls from agents and they'll say, we have a pending sale at this amount. The problem with that is that pending sale is not realized or fact until it's recorded. Okay, so it's just a theory until it's not a theory. If you're having multiple situations like this, it's an indicator of something, but again, it has to be measured. So without that becoming sold, you can't necessarily measure that, right? Because that property that's under contract or pending for that amount has to go through an appraisal, has to go through all of the other things that everybody else has to before it's realized.
Right.
So cash deals don't help that.
Well, cash deals, if you overpay and you pay cash, we're not going to talk about the cash guarantee. You
Right.
pay cash for a house, that is a sale that is
It's a
now
comp.
fact
It's
and
a
it is
comp.
now part of the market.
Right.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
So speaking of the market here in Rochester, tell us a little bit about how you would compare Rochester to maybe the Buffalo or the Syracuse market and the challenges and the differences we see here in the appraisal world.
I think the biggest challenge here, and I think that this would constitute one of a kind in the country, is it's the way that agents market the homes. It is things are underlisted substantially from where their market value is. So just like any market, most homes are appraising in this market because water tends to find its own level. All right. So really what it is, it's a marketing gimmick to try and draw more. And it's not to say it doesn't draw over bids. There are certainly circumstances that we're paying attention to with the spring market where we're saying, hey, it looks like this, but it's going well over this.
Yes.
And it's not just one person
Right.
doing it. It's multiple people
I've
doing it.
seen it. I mean, already starting to see
Yes.
it. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's the hardest part of our job.
Right.
Is communicating that to the borrowers that the list price is where it starts.
Right.
Yes.
Right? And after borrowers go through it a couple of times, they tend to understand it. But
Yes.
the first couple of times, it's heartbreaking for
Yes.
them.
My big point of contention on that is what you do when you underlist a house, and let's say you have an inexperienced agent who doesn't understand it, they're new. You're bringing a buying pool to a house that they have no business looking at. And when you go through that multiple times, what it can do is it can cause frustration. It can
Yes.
drive people out of the market.
100%.
So that's that's where we see a lot of the frustration is you have a $200,000 house, you know it's going to sell for $370,000, you know it's well underlisted, but why are you bringing that person out there who's qualified for $200,000 to buy that
Right.
house? They have no business looking
It's
at
called buyer fatigue.
It is.
Yes.
And
I
they
think-
exit the market.
Yeah.
And I think it's important as loan originators, knowing this market, having an idea when we see a listing and kind of knowing the area and how high it's going to go. It's important for us to kind of, along with our referral partner, to explain to that buyer, if you're looking at a 225 list, that could go well near 300 or over,
Right.
depending upon the, where it is.
And there's no way for us to figure it out.
No, and usually they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And, I mean, it's just crazy.
So in the end, when you have this type of market, I think it's important, again, and I'm going to toot our own horn here, I think it's important you have a partner with us like this that can help you
Definitely.
navigate that to tell
Definitely.
you what a real expectation would be
Definitely.
to get through this.
Absolutely.
Well, and we can all talk very candidly with our real estate partners and with our buyers because of things that you teach us.
Right.
Right.
You're always giving us data.
Yes.
Constantly, you're giving us data from the market. You're sharing with us
Right.
information that helps us become better loan officers. It helps
Right.
the customer experience, right? It helps get them to closing. If they're hearing the same message from their loan officer and from their real estate agent, they finally get to understand it. But boy, it's rough out there.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to understand still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so I'm going to wrap this up with one more question. We have to have a fun question. Tell us what the most unique property was that you've ever appraised or looked at.
Ooh.
Was it the mushroom house?
Do you want to go dark side or happy side?
Oh, give us one of each.
Full.
That'd be fun.
Oh, I opened my mouth. Huh? Okay.
YouTube was PG-13.
I just did a 60 by 100 foot barn dominium that
Okay.
was spectacular.
Those are becoming
those
real
are coming
popular.
up.
and this,
Right.
like barn dominiums are unique. This was unique.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did it
Golf
appraise?
simulators, movie theaters.
Holy moly.
That's
Where is
neat.
this?
I can tell,
Yeah, I know,
I
you
can tell you,
can
but I'd have
now.
to kill you.
Their name is.
No. I just mean
That's
like
cool.
the area.
Yeah.
Can you tell
it-
us an area?
Yeah, Buffalo region.
Buffalo region.
And that's
Okay.
comped out. It's a single family home.
There's no, well, it's a single family home. There's
Yeah.
no way to comp it like
Right.
with a traditional.
It's just-
The barn minimums don't exist.
Yeah.
It's a new thing, and
Right.
everybody thinks that Eliza, they're not.
Yeah.
And people are building this, so there's not essentially sales occurring of them.
Right.
This is all new to market, so there's no
Right.
resale yet. on it.
Sure.
All right,
Sure.
worst one.
Worst one.
All right, worst one. Back when I was a rookie. We were back when foreclosures were big, back like in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I remember this one. This was in Webster, New York, and the home we were taking back, walked into the home, and there was as big as this rear wall here, floor to ceiling with prescription medications. The refrigerator had wax body parts in there that looked like it was from Silence of the Lambs. It was so bad we actually had to call, I called the sheriff's department and we got the house condemned. Had to call the bank from the site and told them the house was being torn down on site.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, that's
because
a
of the
good
kids
one.
in the neighborhood. And I'm giving the short version. That people that were in that house actually slept in caskets.
Wow.
Real caskets.
Wow.
Wow.
That's scary.
Well, that's a good way to end the episode, isn't it? All right. Well, first of all, we'd like to thank Dan and Chris for joining us this month. And we aren't spinning the wheel this month because we're going to continue our guest speaker spot into next month. And we'll be having Barrett Schenk, our head underwriter here,
You
join us.
just let
Right,
us.
I
You gotta let us.
forgot
You
all
gotta spin it. If it's tradition, how do you not spin it?
Well,
Well, it has to end up at underwriting.
Or guest speaker.
Yes.
Oh.
go ahead. You
See?
can spin it.
Huh? Yeah, you could spin it if you
I'll
want.
spin it.
But
All right,
we're
I'll
still
spin
going to talk about underwriting
You're not
next
gonna win anything though.
No. Okay.
I won by being here with you guys today.
Does it
That
say
was a weak
underwriting?
spin.
What did
Chris,
it
spin it.
Fix it, Chris.
Rip it.
I'm looking for underwriting. Hold on. It's not on there. Underwriting.
On next week's program, underrated.
Yes.
everybody.
So we'd like to thank you for joining us again once this month. Please like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Have a good month, everybody. Bye.